Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If it's your first time here, my name is Danielle and I apologize for my towel-y appearance. I'm gonna let my hair air dry and I figured like in the towel was less distracting than like wet straggly hair strands. So kept it in theme and paired with my robe. But yeah, today I wanted to hop on here and do another foundation face-off. I did this about a month or so ago with the Laura Mercier Lumiere foundation and the Dior Skin Glow foundation, which are all kind of newer, both rather newer releases. So today I am facing off the new Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Hydrating Foundation Stick, which I bought during the VIB sale, and the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. So keep watching if you're interested in seeing how these stack up against each other. So actually, I've never really used this foundation. These two shades are hand-me-downs from my sister that she got rid of in a declutter, and I was like, hey, might as well take them. She uses the shades Beige and Sand, and my sister has much deeper skin than me. She's a different ethnicity to me, so it's not like different undertones, it's just a totally different vibe. So these are the two shades, which is why I don't really wear them. I'm praying that I don't look crazy today. This is Sand and this is Beige. Now I tested these on my skin earlier and I think I can get away with Beige. It's slightly, this is Beige here and this is Sand. Beige is slightly more neutral and I think I can sort of blend it out and get away with it, hopefully against the Bare Minerals. It doesn't look too crazy. So this is, I have two shades of this, but right now and like for the majority of my face I wear Cashew 3.5 in the Bare Minerals. So that's it, the lightest one over here. This is gonna be an adventure. Those are two very different colors. But yeah, I wanted to try it out, and I know that this is a pretty big stick foundation launch recently, and I would argue that this is probably, you know, the most popular stick foundation, at least on YouTube, of the last several years since that launched. So I wanted to see how they compared, and since I'm not like a regular user of the Vanish, I feel like I might have a sort of less biased opinion potentially, I don't know. So this isn't a first impressions really of this. I've been using this since I got this a couple weeks ago and I love it. It's become a new go-to for me. So, you know, it's almost more, it's kind of the opposite of what most people are looking at, where like I'm seeing how this stacks up against this newer launch. But let's jump into it and apply. I have prepped my skin with my skincare, which is just oils really. I guess technically I've been using the new Beauty Blender primer that's like an SPF dry oil and I'm obsessed with it. So technically that's a primer, I guess, and that's on, but I didn't want to put anything additional to sort of see if it favors one or the other. So that's where we're starting from today. I'm going to do Hourglass on this side of my face and the Bare Minerals on this side. And yeah, let's just jump into application. So I'm gonna go with Beige again. And I've also been told to not use too much of this product. I forget whose video I was watching recently where they were saying that people overuse this a lot and really sort of draw it on when you're really just supposed to use like one swipe. So let's start there because I want to be able to sheer this out a little bit since the color is not my color, and we'll sort of go from there. So I'm just going to do one here and maybe one here. I'm going to use different brushes for both sides. For this side, I guess I will use the Sigma Fleck Kabuki F80, and for the other side, hopefully I'll use this By Terry foundation brush. It doesn't have a number or anything, and if that doesn't work, I have some other options here. So let's go in and try and blend you out. I mean, the color doesn't look too crazy, but it might just be because I put so little on. I'm not looking bad. So I just went up to grab a mirror and check this out a little closer up. I feel like because I used so little, this is like a really, it's a light coverage, I would say, really low medium. You can sort of, as I've talked about before, my gauge of coverage is I have a little veining right here, and whether or not it covers or wears off at that spot is the easiest way for me to tell what's going on. And you know, they're slightly diminished, but they're not gone by any means. So I'm just gonna go in and do another second super light layer of the Vanish stick to see if I can make it. I mean, this is probably how I'd wear it on the day-to-day, but let's see if I can get it to go like a little bit more. Up there, why not? Just did really little strokes. And because I forgot my nose and my chin area, I'm gonna do like the lightest little dots on each section to cover those up. This color is like kind of working. I'm not too disappointed. It's really hard to just do half of these sections, especially with a brush. Okay, I'm pleased with that. So that is the hourglass on one side of my face and nothing on the other. So I have combination skin that sort of appears more normal with the skincare that I do now, but I get oily in the T-zone and super, super dry on the rest of my face. I'm eczema prone. Now it only really shows up sort of sometimes around my lip and under my chin. But other than that, and like pigmentation wise, I get a little red in the cheeks, but nothing too crazy. So I can get away with a really sort of sheer wash of foundation, so it's harder to see the difference in the two sides, but this side definitely looks a little more even. Again, the color is fine once I really blended it out, and we're gonna see it compared to the Bare Minerals on this side in just a second. So again, I have the shade 3.5 Cashew. I wanna say I also picked up 2 or 2.5 Vanilla. It's in my Sephora haul video, my first haul video, that I will link below if you want to see the colors I picked, or I'll just maybe write it in the description box. But I use a little bit more of this one because it really blends away. Oh fuck, that's the same brush. Shh, it didn't happen. But I've been loving this. It really does feel like water going onto your face. It's insane. It's a nice sort of light to medium coverage. It's not too crazy. It's really the first time I've regularly used a foundation stick. I'm making sure that assertion is correct. I have the Nudies Tinted Blur Stick, which is technically, they even say it's not a foundation. It's like a really, I mean, I use it as my base product, but it can be a primer, it can be a lot of things, but that's the only sort of base stick complexion brush, or product rather, I've ever used. And I do enjoy that, but that's on like a totally different, the texture of that is like nowhere near this. Let me just look at it in the mirror. And yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with just that application. I'm gonna put a teeny bit more around my nose. Oh, whoops. And blend all of that out. Wow, the colors really aren't like too crazy. Like that looks like a normal face. It doesn't look like I'm wearing 2 different shades of foundation, which I'm always surprised I'm able to pull off. I guess maybe if we're looking at my neck, that looks like a little bit darker than my neck versus this. I mean, that's still like a little different too. Maybe I'll blend down a bit. But yeah, so those are the 2 shades. I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup, take my hair out of the towel. I'll show you what everything looks like at the end. I do not tend to set my face with powder, so I will not be doing that. I'll use the same concealer for both sides, just a little bit, and show you what everything looks like when it's done, and check in throughout the day. So there we go. Hey guys, so I just wanted to show you what it looks like now that my makeup is done. I stared like deeply into my mirror in my bathroom and I could not tell a difference. I don't know if that's because I use such sort of a light cover of it. I kept being like, oh, maybe my texture is more visible here. I'm like, no, I think that's just the way my face looks there. Because even the colors weren't too, I could tell this was like a slight touch warmer than this side, but yeah, they felt very similar. I'm curious to see if they wear any different. Here's just my bangs up, sort of close up of the sections of my face. You know, I'm sure I could build these to be higher coverage, which I wasn't trying to do for the sake of this example, because then you would really be able to tell that they're two different colors, but I'm enjoying both, and we will see. I'm gonna go run some errands and we'll see what the day brings and see if there's any changes or if these are ostensibly the same product. So I will check in with you guys in a little while. See you then. Okay, so it's been about 5-ish hours. I just wanted to record this because we might lose natural light soon. I maybe did my makeup pretty late today, but honestly, I can barely tell a difference when I'm like really looking up close. I kind of feel like this again is the Bare Mineral side and this is the Hourglass side. I feel like the rest of my makeup has stayed on this side of my face better, and granted I only used blush and highlight. I'll link everything I used today in the description box if for some reason like that will help things make sense, but I kind of feel like my blush is like a little stronger on this side, and that I didn't notice a difference before, so I don't think I was like more heavy-handed on one side. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but I can tell it's worn off of it, you know, in my veining area, which is always my test. There's not really an equivalent. I can check over here. Like I feel like I'm the same amount of sort of dewy on both sides of my face if I really like look. I mean, I love the way my skin looks today, so I'm happy with both. But yeah, I really still can't tell a difference. I'll show you my forehead too, which is probably an area that's a little less disturbed over the course of the day. And granted, you know, I haven't done much today. I went grocery shopping and had a coffee and like a snack, so it's not like this is the most intense day and I was sweating all day and outside all day. You know, I wasn't doing anything to like that would wear off my makeup really, but besides eating, I guess. But so yeah, so here's where we're at, around 5 hours. You know, again, I'm pleased. They're both like wearing off nicely too, like even in the areas that is probably faded kind of lower on my face. It's not like there's, I mean, even for this shade that was darker, right? It's not like there's like an intense line of demarcation of where my makeup stops and ended, and it's not, neither is breaking apart. They're just sort of fading away. So I will check in with you guys at the end of the day. Hey guys, so I tried to find the best lighting in my apartment to see my face. I'm thinking it's right here, like angled toward the light, so I apologize if it's a little strange, but it has been around 7 hours since I applied this foundation. I need to wash it off now, so I wanted to do a final check-in. If I'm being super nitpicky, and again, that's what I'm trying to do here, I am just in the last maybe like hour and a half starting to see a little bit of this one breaking up. God, you're not gonna be able to see it. It's starting to come off clearly. You can see, you know, all my veining right there. And there's like a little bit of dryness that it's just sort of starting to break up on here. And see if on my nose, it's, you can't really see, but it's starting to break up a teeny bit. I feel like the same thing with, like, I'm almost seeing what would eventually probably break up over here on this side. My forehead is kind of fine, but I am sort of seeing the dryness starting to catch right here on the side. You can't really see it, but you know, sort of point being, if you have the Hourglass foundation stick, you don't need this one. I was watching a video the other day that made a good point that now that my skin is a little more settled, you know, things might change more drastically on someone with oilier skin or even or drier skin. So, you know, don't take this as the end all be all, but you know, the long story short is that you're gonna get a very similar effect with either foundation stick, and if you have one, you really don't need the other. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more videos like this, give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel down below, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.